Hey everyone. I've always enjoyed sharing my mods with you, and it's been a great journey so far. I want to address something that's been on my mind. I've noticed some people re-uploading my HCTP Ultimate Edition and sharing it on their channels. I want to let you know that I'm still here to share my work, but it can be a bit frustrating when my efforts don't get the recognition they deserve, especially when some showcase my patch without giving proper credit. I appreciate that people enjoy what I create, but it's important to acknowledge the time and effort that goes into it. On top of that, what's even more frustrating is seeing minor tweaks being made and presented as someone else's work, which is totally unacceptable. These projects require a lot of work, and giving credit where it's due helps support future creations. I'm bringing this up because I'm planning to release the final update for Ultimate Edition version 1 soon. Now, I understand some of you might think, aren't you doing the same thing by using other modders' work? But here's the difference. I want to be clear that I always give proper credit when I use any part of another modder's work in my patch. Whether it's just one attire, one move, or one arena, I ask for permission and try to contact the modders. Even if I'm unable to reach them, I still ensure they're acknowledged in the credits. It's important to me to maintain respect within the modding community, and I don't include leaked mods in my patch. Even if I could give credit, supporting leaks is something I won't do. Also, the majority of the patch is my original work, including wrestlers, moves, and unique discoveries that add new depth to HCTP. I've put in a lot of effort to develop features that I hope bring something fresh to a game we all enjoy. Recently, I started using publicly shared textures from 2K mods, and I always make sure to give credit in the video description. It saves time and effort, and it doesn't make sense to reinvent the wheel when great resources are already available. However, I'm not directly porting models from 2K games, which isn't possible anyway. I use textures as references to recreate something similar in HCTP. If you think it's easy, feel free to give it a try. However, I've also created plenty of mods from scratch. If you've been following me, you've seen that. Modding takes more time and dedication than it may seem at first glance. From creating detailed textures to testing gameplay, it's a long and sometimes tedious process. I know some of you have tried your hand at modding and understand the effort required. Supporting and respecting each other's work helps keep the community thriving. It can take over a year to create a patch like the Ultimate Edition, and yet some people won't even wait a few minutes to download through a link with ads. When you ask for direct links without the ads, you're missing the bigger picture, the time and effort modders put into their work and the small support they ask in return. It's crucial for us to take a stand against leakers by reporting their actions and refusing to support them. Leakers provide no real value to our community, they usually just seek attention. Don't be misled by their claims that they leak mods for your benefit. This is far from the truth. Their true intention is to undermine modders, often driven by jealousy or selfishness, or perhaps because they've attempted to mod themselves and failed. By reporting their actions, we encourage modders to continue creating great content. If we stay silent, we risk seeing fewer new mods in the future. I know that when a mod is leaked, it can be exciting to access it, but consider the long-term effects. You might be satisfied now, but what if better updates come out later, only for the modder to give up because someone stole or leaked their hard work? Supporting the original creator leads to a win-win situation for everyone involved. Re-uploading and resharing my content without permission or proper credit not only affects the small revenue I earn from ads but also impacts my YouTube views. For example, my most popular video has received 76k views, while someone who claimed my patch as their own gained 107k views, and a re-uploader got 30k views. This is incredibly frustrating because it undermines the hard work I've put in. Don't get me wrong, I'm satisfied with my view numbers. The issue arises when someone else gets praised for my work while doing nothing to earn it. They're stealing my effort and hard work. I urge you not to support re-uploaders, leakers, or content thieves by watching their videos or giving them positive feedback. This only encourages their behavior. If modders stop creating new content, who will fill that gap? It certainly won't be those re-uploaders or leakers. If they had the necessary skills, they would have created their own content long ago. Maybe some of you wonder why I don't want to give them a copyright strike, which has worked before. Well, I don't think this will solve the problem. On the contrary, it might only increase their hatred and bitterness. They can still share links in private groups or Discord servers. What truly needs to change is the understanding of how hard modding is and the time and effort it requires. We should also show respect for the modders who invest their time and energy into creating these mods. Additionally, I've already shown people how to download from these ad sites safely and quickly, so I don't see why some still decide to share the direct links. Beyond that, it's not just about re-uploading. it's about the lack of respect that comes with it. I recently saw a comment praising someone for re-uploading my free patch and calling him better than the original modder, simply because the leaker shared a direct link. The leaker didn't create the patch, they just downloaded it and followed my installation instructions without putting in any real effort. Meanwhile, the original modder is the one who dedicated months to developing new attire, moves, and features to enhance the experience. It's a free patch, and you should be thankful for that. Just try to put yourself in my shoes. How would you feel if your hard work and effort were recognized for someone else's benefit, while you were blamed or hated for your own work? It's disappointing to see such double standards and a lack of appreciation in our community. I really wonder if people understand the hard work that goes into creating these mods. I want to address a misconception as well. I don't share the vanilla game, I share my modified files. While I do use original assets from the game because I can't import models made from scratch, I put in considerable effort to transform those assets into something new. For example, my Bret Hart mod uses Edge as a base model, but when placed side by side, you can hardly tell they're the same. While some may argue that using game assets is wrong, I see it as a necessary approach to innovate within the game's limitations. I'm aware that some textures for Bret Hart are from SVR06, but as I mentioned before, if there are already available resources that we can use freely without harming anyone, why should I take the time to create everything from scratch? Doing so would only reduce productivity. From my perspective, modding is essential for keeping the gaming world vibrant and evolving. It has roots that go back to the early days of gaming, when dedicated fans created custom content to enhance their experiences. While some argue about the legality of modding, I believe it enriches gameplay and keeps classics like PES, FIFA, GTA, HCTP, and SVR relevant. Without mods, these games wouldn't be as enjoyable today. Modding builds an active community of creators and players who collaborate and enjoy their favorite titles. HCTP was released in 2003, and since THQ shut down in 2013, WWE no longer profits from its older video game titles. My patches do not cause any harm. Instead, they bring new life into a beloved game. If I thought modding was wrong, I wouldn't be doing it in the first place. I encourage everyone to recognize its value, as it reflects our enduring love for gaming. I started modding for fun, and I continue to do it because I love wrestling. HCTP is my favorite wrestling game of all time, and I've always wanted to create amazing projects for it. Once I finish everything I want to do, I'll be ready to step back and retire in peace, knowing that I gave it my all. I'd like to bring up one final issue: backstabbing. This isn't just something I've experienced, it has happened to nearly every modder I know. It's tough when someone you think is a friend leaks your files or shares a private tutorial you provided without your permission. Although that's in the past, it's important to mention it now so we can avoid these issues in the future. Another concern is when people trade files, like saying, "I'll give you this mod if you give me that." This kind of behavior contributes to the decline of the community and the lack of new mods. It's frustrating when someone asks for help, and after you show them how to do things, they suddenly turn on you and say negative things about you. What can I say? A world full of hypocrites. This is a call for respect and fairness. If you care about the modding community and want to see more free mods, please consider how your actions affect the modders. Many talented modders have already stepped back and retired due to these issues. If we don't support and respect them, it may discourage others from creating new content. Let's recognize the time and effort that goes into every mod, no matter how big or small. Every contribution has its value and plays a role in enriching the gaming experience for everyone. Also, remember that constructive feedback goes a long way. Engaging with modders positively can inspire them to keep pushing their boundaries. I'm not just speaking for myself, I'm speaking for all modders. It's important to create a community that values everyone's efforts and encourages continued creativity. As I mentioned earlier, I'm bringing this up to prevent any future issues with people re-uploading my patches, so please don't assist them in doing that. I've already provided everything you need: a tutorial for downloading the file in under 2 minutes and another for installing the mod in less than 10 minutes. It's really not as hard as it seems, so I encourage you to give it a try before making assumptions. Consider this a warning ahead of the final update for version 1. After that, I'll focus on completing version 2. Modding requires a lot of time and effort. It's not just about installing the mod. There are many things I need to check before releasing any mod, which is why it takes so much time. The most frustrating part is when projects take much longer than expected. I'm truly doing my best to finish everything. Lastly, I want to sincerely thank everyone who has supported me throughout this journey. Your kindness, feedback, and belief in my work mean everything to me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for standing by me, and your continued support allows me to keep doing what I love, motivating me to push the boundaries of what's possible. Thanks for listening. I hope we can all move forward with respect for each other. Let me know your thoughts. Have a nice day.